This is music, and this is another episode of songs from the Pukebox. Welcome to another episode of songs from the Pukebox. It's just a What's Spinning series, but it has a terrible title. Now, in these videos, I basically just show you and talk about some stuff I've been listening to over the last week or so. So, yeah, a What's Spinning series, and this time we have a handful of CDs to talk about. Starting out with this one here, A Night at the Opera by Blind Guardian. This is a Blind Guardian album I don't listen to that often. It's not bad. It's just that I prefer their earlier kind of speed metal based power metal. This here is much more epic sounding. It leans heavily into the symphonic side of things without being all out symphonic metal, I would say. But there are symphonic elements. It sounds very epic. Not a lot of speed metal, if any, on here, but you do have some, straight up power metal stuff going on. Um, a lot of the riffage is more like, I would say, heavy metal than anything else, and yeah, it's pretty good. The vocals are they might be an acquired taste, but I think that applies to all Blind Guardian releases. I like Hansi's vocals. On here, they make use of a lot of kind of complex and lush, I think Queen and maybe Yes inspired vocal harmonies. It's actually a very good album if you like your epic sounding kind of power metal based music. But like I said, it's not really an album I listen to a whole lot. There are some folk elements too, and that might be one of the reasons why I kind of gravitate away from it. Although I don't dislike it, I think it's pretty good. There you go. A Night at the Opera. And up next, we have this one here, Change of Seasons by Dream Theater, the EP with a 25-minute song on it. As you can see, this one has a lot of bonus stuff. So, A Change of Seasons, that song is obviously a musical journey, lots of twists and turns, uh, odd time signatures, 55 movements before the vocals kick in. It has that iconic um, acoustic guitar opening, which just sets the scene for the entire song and which should draw you in. At least that's what happened to me when I just heard, and every time I hear it, that acoustic opening, I know I'm in for a musical journey. So yeah, the track is great. It has lots of kind of like stops and starts and new sections and lots of melodic parts. I quite like the guitar solos in the song. Sometimes I think the guitar solos are a little bit too shreddy for my taste, but they work great. So I think Change of Seasons is a great song. Now, this one here has a lot of live material where they do covers. Um, there's a song or a song. It finishes off with the big medley, and it's just a bunch of different prog rock and hard rock and whatever rock songs. And I think it's the last part of the big medley that is actually Turn It On Again by Genesis. So I think those cover versions, they're fun, but that's not what I listen to this one for. It is for the main track. I've seen Dream Theater a bunch of times. I don't think they ever played that many covers. When I saw them, they might have done a medley or two. But I don't know. I don't think I would go to see Dream Theater to see them play like a bunch of covers. Although the covers are good, it's just like I said, it's not what I listen to Dream Theater for. Um, but great stuff. And speaking of Turn It On Again by Genesis, uh, Duke by Genesis, been spinning this one here, and that's the one that has Turn It On Again on it, actually. And I think this is a great album. It's to my ears, it's still a prog rock album, although you have Misunderstanding, and you have Alone Tonight and Please Don't Ask. You have a couple of sappy love songs. And I know a lot of people kind of accuse Phil Collins of, oh, it's his fault he turned them into a pop band. But first of all, um, not all of the sappy ballads on here were written by Phil Collins. Mike Rutherford wrote one of them, actually. Secondly, I'm pretty sure Phil Collins didn't force the other two guys into playing pop music. I mean, it's not like he's some evil puppet master or he held their families hostage or anything. So I think that's a stupid argument. But it does have some sappy pop songs on here that don't really appeal that much to me. I quite like Misunderstanding, actually. The lyrical content is a little bit silly. It seems to be a song about somebody who was ghosted and just that didn't realize he was ghosted. But you have some great songs on here. You have uh, Duchess, which is an epic prog rock song. Man of Our Times, I think, is a great song too. And of course, you have Turn It On Again, which is might be my favorite Genesis song, believe it or not. And of course, you have Duke's Travels and Duke's End, fantastic prog rock too. So yeah, I think this is a great album. I enjoy listening to it. So there you go. Now something a little bit different. We have Rawhead Rex self-titled. I would say this is somewhere in between heavy metal and power metal. And it's actually really good. It has a lot of power metal tropes, but no sign of the cheese. So I obviously like this. So you have your power metal, double bass drum, um, the vocals, except the vocals don't sound wimpy on here. And that is juxtaposed with just straight up heavy metal riffs in places, even like motorcycle metal riffs. So I think this is a great album. I think if you like power metal, but if you're kind of tired of the cheese, but you still want to listen to some Euro power metal, because I think these guys are German, Rawhead Rex, check them out. I think it's good stuff. I enjoyed whenever I listen to it. And I'll blast. And by the way, these were all just pulled from my collection randomly. Even Duke, although there was this connection from the Dream Theater one to the Genesis one. Anyways, a blast. Ugly Kid Joe, America's Least Wanted. A good hard rock album. I do like Ugly Kid Joe. Um, I like the riffs in a lot of their songs. They're simple, but they're catchy and they're memorable. And a bunch of the riffs even have like a built-in funky bounce to them that I quite enjoy. This one has Neighbor, which is a fun song, um, but with a cool riff. You got Goddamn Devil with Rob Halford on backing vocals. Um, you have So Damn Cool, which has an awesome simple riff, and I think Rob Halford also does backing vocals on that one. Yeah, there's Cats in the Cradle. I have to admit, I didn't skip it, but I started doing some other stuff because it's a fine song, but it's not a song that I really dig a whole lot. And then there is Madman, the '92 remix. I love that song. Another song with a cool, simple riff. Um, and of course, Everything About You is on here too. Their big hit. Another kind of humorous song. So apart from a couple of ballads, you got some solid hard rocking songs on here that I think are great. And you also have, for example, Panhandling Prince. That's more of a dialed back song, and Come Tomorrow as well. But I quite like those too. So I think this is a fine hard rock album, and I enjoy listening to it whenever I listen to it. So there you go, a handful of songs from the Pukebox. All good stuff in my opinion. But of course, check it out yourself. See if you like these albums. Thanks for watching.